Oh, rather let me say good morning. Morning everybody. How is everybody doing? Welcome to Painted Dog TV and a beautiful morning safari with myself, Gareth, at the helm and Cello behind me on camera, everybody. We are busy tracking a male leopard that walked right past our camp early on this morning, around 4 a.m. So not too long ago, about an hour and a half ago. I just drove out of camp and found the tracks, and Cello said that he actually heard the leopard calling just as he was waking up when his alarm went off. He also heard lions roaring close to camp. So there are cats about, everybody. Question is, are we going to find them? But it is very exciting. The lions have certainly been very, very busy the last 2 days. The lionesses having killed 2 adult wildebeest. We saw them on my last drive with blood all over their faces, and they were busy grooming each other and drinking at Boskamp. at one of the water holes close to the camp there, and they then went back to their carcass where the males had taken over the wildebeest and had dominated that carcass. The lionesses then moved on and killed another wildebeest shortly after that, close to Lemundur and Krip, which again is not too far from our camp here. And so those lions have been very busy. They'll be very full. So we don't think they're going to move too far. And like I say, everybody, the team heard them roaring this morning close to camp. And then, like I say, we drove out of camp and found fresh male leopard tracks. And Cello reckons he heard this leopard calling everybody. So just on the western side of camp right now, approaching the fence line here. I haven't seen any further tracks. Last tracks were quite close to Mamba Dam, which is the big waterhole close to our camp of this male leopard. And I don't know where he's gone from there. He's done a disappearing act. Let's just switch off and listen here for a minute or two while I quickly say good morning to everybody. Good morning, Mary. Hello, Wendy. Hi. Hello. Hello, Di. Hello, Deneen. Morning, Carol. Good morning, Velma. Morning, Betty. Good morning, everybody. Good to have you with us. It's always so exciting when you're in your camp and you can hear these cats close to you. A little bit terrifying, I suppose, for some. Once you've lived out here for years, you come to realize that as long as you stay indoors, you're perfectly safe. But it is slightly unnerving hearing them that close. Now, what would really help our cause is if some of these cats vocalized again. We all know the lion's roar. Some of you may never have heard a leopard calling before, though. You don't hear it all that often, certainly not here on the Rietspruit. But it sounds like a saw going through wood. Now, the male leopards vocalize a lot more than females do. Particularly if a female has young, she usually remains pretty silent. But the males are constantly vocalizing throughout the night, demarcating their territory, claiming their patch, and also encouraging females to approach them. If there are any females nearby, they'll normally approach the male if she hears him vocalizing. You're probably right, Betty. Full lions usually aren't too interested in a leopard, but they'll always have a go. If that leopard's very close to them, they'll definitely try and attack that leopard. But of course the leopard has the advantage of being able to shoot up into a tree, which usually then stops the lions in their tracks. They don't usually climb into the trees after leopards unless there's a carcass up there, and sometimes the lions will We'll go up into the tree to try and steal the carcass from the leopard. Not hearing anything just yet. Let's go a little bit further along the fence line here. Just to look for tracks. If I don't see anything in the next little while, I'm going to turn back, everybody, and cut east away from the fence and check one other road that I haven't checked yet for both sets of cats, or rather both species of cats. I have seen a lot of general game around camp this morning. When I came in, impala and wildebeest and giraffe, all of which seemed pretty settled, quite calm, which indicates that none of these cats have been in the camp itself for the last hour, would be my guess. Let's just quickly look with the binoculars along the fence here. Just saw movement along the fence there, got excited.
Good morning. Two vehicles out on Leopard, and then myself and Kyle, and then Porter.
But I think it was an impala, everybody. Not that I don't love impala.
Copy that, thank you.
But for a brief moment I thought it was one of these cats. There it is again. Can you see them there, Silla?
No.
Just go all the way along the fence. Might see them.
I think it's in part.
Looks like it, yeah. Couple of impala rams by the looks of things. Not easy in the very low light conditions. But yeah, it's definitely impala, folks. Right, time to whip it around and head east. No tracks along here. I'm not hearing anything. Oh dear, let's not get stuck. of the Drakensberg Mountains here, everybody. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. Clear day, and I'm sure another scorcher of a day. Temperatures got up to 40 degrees Celsius yesterday. And I mean, already now it's about 28 degrees at 6 o'clock in the morning. So it's going to be another hot day. In summer, I always prefer these morning drives. Much cooler. And also the animals will be more active in the morning than they are usually in the late afternoon while it's still very hot. Right, we're going to just quickly whip through camp here, everybody, and then head northeast. There is water here in camp, of course. 2 water points. We have captured footage of leopard drinking at this large water hole here, or reservoir, in the past. Perhaps this male leopard. He did have a drink right there. My goodness. The tracks of this male leopard are right here, everybody. So he was in the middle of camp at 4 o'clock this morning. That's very exciting. Just try to show you the tracks here, everybody. That's a buffalo thorn. I'm going to walk through that. You can see the tracks here. That's the back paw. This is the front paw here, everybody. Narrower track with the back paw, wider track with the front paw, and it's longer. Man, that's exciting. You can see the tracks continue here. Oh, look what's coming up the road, Silla. Try get that. Now, I don't want to move everybody because I'm going to spook them. So I'm just going to stay standing where I am. Look at this, everybody. A family of banded mongoose. Presumably coming to camp to try and have a drink at this little waterhole where this leopard drank a little while earlier. Oh man, that is incredible. Holy smokes, look at all the babies. Oh, panic. They've spotted me. Okay, I'm going to try retreat back to the vehicle. You can see the one sentry standing up high at the front of the group there. Obviously sounded the alarm when it spotted me. There they go. Wow, that was very, very cool. Beautiful to see a big family. What we call a band of mongoose and a band of banded mongoose. Very, very cool. Oh, there they go. Lots of them, hey? You'll sometimes get up to close on 30 individuals in a single band. So really big family groups, and they are cooperative breeders, much like our beloved African wild dogs. They too will have an alpha pair that breed, and they then work together to help raise the next litter of pups. Very, very special to see that, everybody. It's incredible to see how many babies they had. There were lots of them, 5 or 6 at least, of the little ones that I saw there. Beautiful. Right, come on, Mr. Leopard. Do us a favor and just be walking along the road very calmly, and let us follow you for a little while. Tracks are still here. Still walking on the road for now. Of course, we're now approaching almost 2 hours ago that Cello reckons he heard this leopard calling in the camp. And a male leopard is always on a march, until of course he's slowed down by either prey, foe, or a mate. But in 2 hours he could have easily walked a mile by now, so you never know. I think that leopard's already changed his plan, everybody. I don't see any tracks here anymore. I was just thinking about all the game paths I was driving past back there, which are perfect routes for that leopard to take. I think that male leopard's taken one of those big game paths that cuts through the block here. It was in this block here where we were trying to dart that rhino that had the piece of wire from the fence around his head, where I got lost. Well, not lost, got stuck in very, very thick bush. Oh, look at that. Another family on the road here, everybody. This time a family of crested francolins. Beautiful. Look at that beautiful white streak above the eye, and the amazing colours in the feathers. Brilliant camouflage, particularly from above, which is one of their main threats. Birds of prey will often hunt these crested francolins, but those markings on their feathers really help them in terms of camouflage. It appears they've only just woken up. Not much movement there. Haven't had their coffee yet. That is so cool.
Morning, Sherry, going well down.
Coming to say hello. Five of them. So presumably a breeding pair, and there are 3 chicks that aren't really that small anymore. They've grown quickly. Just a couple months old, I would imagine, these younger birds. I always refer to these francolins, particularly the crested francolin and the cousin, the Natal spurfowl. I always refer to them as the heart attack birds. Because when I'm tracking lion and leopard on foot, they'll very often, when I get close to them, they freeze, relying on that camouflage, and hide in the long grass. And just as you're about to stand next to them, they explode with a massive amount of noise, calling, and their wings flapping out from under your feet. And you just about have a heart attack, thinking that you've almost stood on the leopard's tail. And it turns out it's just a little crested francolin. Those little guys pack a punch though. Amazing how much noise they can generate from such a small body. Lovely sighting that. So from here, everybody, we'll meander our way up towards the last known position of the lions, which was around the Munduring Krip. At least that's where the lionesses were. The males weren't too far from them. They were at the reservoir on the Munduring. I assume the lions that the team heard roaring this morning, or rather the audio of those lions, came from that sort of area. As I said, they've all eaten well, so don't think they would have moved too far. And you never know, maybe that leopard walking along that game path might eventually come back to this road as well. A wonderful road, Mamba Krunkelpad. Such a wonderful name. Betty die. If I could track down and keep up with a band of mongoose, I'd probably want to be one of the most skilled trackers and guides in the world. They don't usually stick around much. They're quite shy of vehicles and people. But you never know, we might bump into another group. Good morning, Guido. Good to have you with us. Hope you are well.
single male hippo track.
Last station, please repeat.
Say again after all stations. Could we put your coming to it was breaking up the whole time. So it was a single male white rhino on hippo track. Animal is sleeping, even the dog unattended.
Going to take a road up ahead here, everybody, that goes towards this dry riverbed that runs close by to us here, the Rietspruit River, and where we actually eventually got that white rhino down that we removed the wire from. It's a beautiful road, and I want to check it to see if there's any signs of these lions. There's a big open sodic area here, open patch of ground, which would have been a very comfortable spot for the lions to go and rest after their big feed. Just going to go have a look through there. Oh, such beautiful light right now. Ooh. Look at this, everybody. There's a golden orb spider that's made her web across the road here. Beautiful golden orb spider. Can you see it there, Silla? Huh? Absolutely incredible spider, this. And they really have come out this year. Been a couple years now where I haven't seen too many of them. Look at that, eh? Wow, look at those colours, everybody. Female golden orb spider. Sorry, dear. I'll take down this web. We'll leave you with the bulk of it, though. And leave you with your food. I've had many entertaining moments on safari with clients. We've had these golden orb spiders land on their laps, behind me whilst we're driving through the bush, particularly when you're off-roading, following cats. People wanting to jump out of the vehicle where there's lions next to them, rather than deal with that golden orb spider on their laps. Quite entertaining. But of course completely harmless. So all of that colour is to try and frighten off predators. Also helps with camouflage for sure. So they look terrifying, but you can actually hold them in your hand. They're completely harmless. They don't have a very toxic venom, and at the same time they're not aggressive. So Betty, to answer your question, yes, they are venomous to their prey, of course, but a very, very non-lethal venom when it comes to human beings. And like I say, very rarely will they bite. I don't know of anyone that's ever been bitten by a golden orb spider. Certainly one of my favorite spiders out here though. Right, so we're just coming into this big open area now, everybody, that I was telling you about. Every possibility that the lions may have chosen to come sleep here. It was a very hot night. When I went to bed last night at 10 p.m, it was still 31 degrees Celsius. So a very hot evening. So what lions will often do when it's hot like that is they'll sleep in big open areas like this, so that they can try and make the most of whatever little breeze there is
Richard, fresh elephant track
to cool them down.
Eland, north of the higher southern fence line.
Not seeing any lions yet though.
Morning, Sherry Mobile on Leopard and a radio check.
But look at this view here, folks. Especially with this gorgeous sunrise that's coming up. Look at how beautifully it's lighting up the Drakensberg Mountains this morning.
Copy, thank you.
Just going to take a moment here, everybody, to appreciate this beautiful view, but at the same time just listen, see if we don't hear anything. Truly is spectacular out here. So spoilt with this view. Could have sworn I just heard a couple of impala alarm calls, everyone. Pretty close to where the lions were last night, around Leopard and Crip. That's where we're heading now. Gonna head that way. There's just one or two, I think, shouts from the impala. Keep going that direction, see if we don't hear anything else when we get closer. Fingers crossed the gremlins will stay away here, folks. Gets a little bit thick inside this very dense area here close to the Diepsloot River. But if we do have breakup, it won't last very long, everybody, because we'll come out near Leopard and Crip pretty soon.
Not sitting in the middle of the road. Thank you very much,
I remember this spot very well. I almost got stuck here a couple of weeks back on this tree that's fallen into the road here. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. Just try go around this particularly large tree that the elephants pushed over a couple of months back. Mary, sorry, I missed your comment earlier. I assume you're referring to when we were admiring that beautiful view of the Drakensberg Mountains, and there was a very prominent tree that Cello had framed on the right hand side of the screen out in the open there. That beautiful tree is actually a weeping bourbeen, so quite out of place, a tree that usually grows close to riverbeds. So there's a lot of them growing down here because of course we're now close to that river. So a bit out of place standing there up on that Sodic area, but really beautiful, iconic sort of spot there out in the open. Oh, it really is beautiful down here. Trees that have been hammered down here by the elephants, that's for sure. They like being down here. Speaking of elephants, it sounds like the elephants are probably on Kaya and Lovu at the moment, everybody. Somebody's tracks on the eastern part of the reserve on Kaya. Sadly, the part of the reserve we don't have access to. Would love to see the Ellies again, but we might have to wait for that. Still haven't seen any signs of these lions, but we're close now to where I thought I heard impala alarm calling, and we are very close now to Lemunduring Krip, this little water hole where the lionesses were drinking last night. Sounds like we might have picked up a hitchhiker under the jackal. A stick or a branch that's caught under the look down the strip. Now there's a good chance these lionesses might still be close by here, everybody. I don't know if they would have finished that carcass. I wasn't out last night, of course, so I don't know exactly where it was. It was somewhere nearby here. They're not here now. Quite a lot of commotion on the road here though. I wonder if this is where they were lying down. Looks like it. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, this is definitely the lionesses, everybody. Quite possibly the males as well. You can see all the commotion in the sand here. where they were lying down, rolling around, and you can also see where they regularly urinated. These little wet patches here. Kevin for Gareth. Oh, and a very, very strong smell of lion here. Where was the most recent carcass in relation to Lamunda and Crip?
It was just behind the reservoir, but slightly.
Copy that. Was it close to the Deep Sloot River?
Native, just behind the reservoir itself, and in the block between Seskan South and Lamunda and West in the reservoir.
Okay, copy that, thanks. So just busy chatting to Kevin there, everybody, to find out where exactly this carcass was, and it sounds like it was in here. There's a sneaky little road that goes into this block, which I'll go have a look at now. Try and see if we can find this carcass. So there's a good chance they might still be feeding on it.
On top of the white rhino on Echo track, still lying down in the middle of the road.
Very, very strong, pungent smell of lion here. They might have moved on, of course, if the carcass is finished. There's no tracks of lions here. Copy, thanks. Not seeing anything here. Don't see any tracks.
Some elephant tracks on several spots.
Of these lions either. We'll quickly go up the road here towards the big reservoir, which is where the males were seen last night. Certainly got tracks of lions here now, coming and going from this side. Perhaps that carcass was somewhere up here and they were just drinking out of Lamunda and Crip. Easier to access water down there than it is here. I think this reservoir has been dried up. Vehicle tracks coming out here. tracks all over the place. Of these lines, but I'm not seeing them. Let's quickly have a look. Who's on the road there? Is that impala? Beautiful. Lovely herd of impala. Mixture of females and young males. I wonder if they have picked up on the smell of these lions yet. Going to go back, everybody. I did see a set of vehicle tracks coming out of the block here. Just want to follow those vehicle tracks and see if that doesn't maybe lead us to where the carcass was. Yeah. Just stunning. The most beautiful light right now, everybody. Absolutely gorgeous morning. Mind your head, Silla. Oh, strong smell of carcass here. Oh my word, look at this. That's all that's left. Literally just some skin. Right, so we have found the remains of this carcass, everybody. There's almost nothing left. Literally a bit of skin, one leg, and the tail. Man, they dispatch a carcass quickly, this pride. That was a fully grown wildebeest cow, everybody, yesterday afternoon when they found the lions. And that's all that remains. Just a bit of skin and a leg. I think the vultures got in here as well. If you look, Cello, at the feathers that are all around the carcass area here. apologies everybody. Don't know what happened with the mic pack there, but it died on us. Look at this. How's that for picked clean? Here's the spine and rib cage of this wildebeest. Look at that. That is incredible. Just the head. Head's been picked clean as well. Unreal. So that's a combination of the lions and the vultures, everybody, that have picked that clean. I do find it surprising that the injured male lion's not around here anymore, but he's obviously had a good feed, because very often, particularly if his brothers are around, he's the last to eat, and so he's left to just pick up on the scraps. But I think there's been enough wildebeest to go around for everybody over the last 2 days, having killed 2 of them. And so he's not around at the moment. Incredible. Right, so where did the lions go? Those signs down there, everybody, back at the little waterhole, were pretty recent. Certainly smells very recent down there. Just going to quickly check this road and see if there's any tracks of them heading south from here.
If that track is did stand up and try to get mobile, it did move off into the direction of Leopard Dam, but I'm leaving along.
But if there's nothing here, then I suspect they've probably gone north from Lamunda and Krip. There are tracks here of lions, but going the opposite direction. It's amazing. There's a big strong wind that's just kicked up right now, everybody. It would be absolutely amazing if it was bringing us some rain. This is one of the worst Februaries we've had in history. We usually get a ton of rain at this time of the year, everybody, and we've had nothing this month. Sorry, last month. And nothing yet in March either. So it's not looking good in terms of our rainfall. Maybe this strong hot wind that I'm feeling now might be bringing some rain. Interesting, there's a couple of hyena tracks on the road here as well, so possibly hyenas came and helped clean up that carcass last night as well. And yes, Betty, a lot of flies. When I went to pick up the skull of that wildebeest, skull and spine, there must have been 50 flies at least sitting inside the cavity of the skull, busy laying their eggs. So, lovely. Lovely stuff. I suspect, guys, that if we do find these lions, they're going to be round lions. Horizontal and round.
Third man off go bunk.
that strong smell of them again. There's a couple sets of tracks here, everybody, of them going north. So the direction they're headed now is parallel with the Diepsloot River, heading north generally towards Seskankrip. Lions are playing tricks on me, everybody. There's now tracks of them going back towards the waterhole again. Still one set of tracks going this way. Might have gone up that little sneaky road there that runs parallel to the Diepsloot River. Not seeing tracks here anymore. I just want to check the main drag here. Not seeing tracks of the Pride, I'm just seeing tracks of males here. male walked up here. Many occasions we've come across the pride and the males sleeping in this next big open area. There are a number of them here between the Rietspruit River and Seskanpad, the main drag that runs north-south here. A number of these big open sodic areas here. Perhaps they're sleeping in one of them. This one. I have a suspicion these lionesses have gone down into the river. Another very comfortable place for them to go and rest after a full feed. circling back, everybody, going back to where I last had tracks, the Pride. Another spot they may have headed towards is this beautiful little rocky outcrop, a viewpoint here on the bank of the Deep Sloot River. I often take you guys there, hoping to find a leopard sleeping up on top of that rock. I have seen the Pride sleeping there before as well. So the lionesses may have turned that way. We'll go have a look there now. So the last tracks of the Pride were very close to the water there, where they were all lying down, where we could see the stains of urine in the sand there. They did all head north, but then I lost the tracks pretty soon after that, and then just had tracks of one or two of the male lions walking up and down. So it looks like they've gone towards the river. There's no tracks of them coming out on the other side. Tracks coming up and down here as well.
Gareth coming, Gareth.
Nope. Not sleeping on top of the rocks this morning, everybody. I do love this spot, however.
Gareth coming, Gareth.
Go ahead.
Have you picked up any fresh track of the bright anywhere outside?
Yeah, it looks like they were last at Lemundur and Krip, and then I think they went north, maybe even northwest. I think they might have gone into the Diepsloot River heading north.
Okay, copy. On the just going to Krip now. I'll go check that.
Yeah, I've checked quite close to Seska and Krip. There's no tracks coming out there, so it might be worth checking the western side of the Diepsloot.
Okay, copy. Thanks. I'll maybe just go check in the Diepsloot and then park at in that area.
Copy. How beautiful is this view, guys? I'm just going to quickly walk down to that rock, everybody. I just want to peer down into the river and make sure they're not sleeping here. Oh, there's nothing down there, guys. Nothing but one of the most beautiful spots on the reserve. Some old male leopard tracks, however, which is always nice to see. And no tracks of these lions. They've done a disappearing act. Right, everybody, now I'm going to go just take a drive on the other side of the river, see if we don't come up with anything. Of course, you never know what might be around the next bend. Bump into some rhinos, see some nice birds, some giraffe. But with this wind having now picked up as strong as it is right now, a lot of the game is going to push into thick bush. They'll be a bit nervous now with the strong wind. Hello Shannon, lovely to have you with us. Been a beautiful morning so far. We've been trying to find the lions. Haven't had any luck yet. They made a kill, well, two wildebeest kills, but they finished the last one up late yesterday afternoon, quite close to Leopard Krip, which is where we've been tracking them for the last little while. But they have proven to be Houdini lions this morning. The team definitely heard them roaring relatively close to camp, so I suspect when the team heard them roaring, this is where they were. They were still here at this reservoir. No signs of them having headed south. Yeah, I see. So this is where I had the last tracks of the Pride. And there are definitely lots of tracks of them going north. And they didn't go up there either. They must have gone through the river, somewhere here. And quickly go look on the other side of the river here, folks. young impala on the road here, which appears to have got separated from its herd. Oh no, there's a female there. There is one adult female here. But the impala on edge now with this wind having picked up. You'll remember earlier in the drive, everybody, I told you that I'd heard impala alarm calling, and it was somewhere around this area. Must have been when those lions were on the move. Beautiful. And just as I was saying before, with the wind picking up like this, you'll see these impala all push into the thick bush now, everybody. Very nervous, particularly with the fresh scent of lion on the air. Always a possibility of black rhino up here too, everybody. Often find fresh signs of the black rhino. I think it's the big bull, the older bull, that comes and feeds this side of the river. Unfortunately, this wind has also led to us not seeing a lot of bird activity this morning. Birds are all hanging on for dear life in a tree somewhere.
So crossing into Lowveld.
I was right. Those lines crossed the road here. So this prominent game path we have here, everybody, comes straight out of the Deep Sloot River. And these lines came out here. Yeah. One of them walked straight across and continued with the game path. A couple of them lay down here, and then some of the lines have continued north along the road here. Tracks of the Pride come out on Roy Rantjies just south of the Antioch Sloot. It looks like they're headed north and west from here.
Can you say again your last place?
It's just tracks of lions on Blaubank, Roy Rantjies pad, south of Antioch Sloot, heading northwest.
Okay, thanks, copy.
I'm now wondering, everybody, if these lions didn't perhaps go to the western fence line. For now, there are tracks on the road heading to another one of my favorite areas. This next little drainage line that comes in not too far from here is where we've had the most recent leopard activity, certainly of the female, that pregnant female. The lions are heading that way towards that same drainage line, that same little dry riverbed. Tracks of a male, possibly one lioness. Doesn't look like the whole pride walked along the road here. So they've covered more ground than I thought they would have after all that meat. This is that exciting area I was telling you about, everybody. This little riverbed we're descending into now. I want to see if they went off here, folks. Nope. Still going along the road here, I suspect. Yeah. Making us work for our money this morning, these lions. Yeah, they really do get around. Tracks on Roy Reinke, still going north towards Witgatwes. Tracks on the road here, everybody. A big intersection here. Let's see where they went from here. If they went straight across here, then they're heading up towards Leadwood. And it looks like they did do that. Look at this, everybody. Can you see this line in the sand here, Sella? Can you pick it up, or are you too close? Female leopard tracks, everybody, with lines in the sand here. Looks like a female leopard dragged a carcass here. And I don't think the lions picked up on it, which means it might be a bit old. The lions continue north along here. They are heading towards Leadwood. Where does this drag mark go? You can see the drag mark continues here behind you, everybody. My goodness. I'm going to follow this drag mark, everyone. Imagine we found a leopard with a kill. Looks like something small. Copy. Looks like something small, everybody. So a female leopard that's killed, possibly something like a daker, judging by the weight of the drag in the sand and the width of the actual drag mark itself. Looks like it's very small hooves that were dragging on the ground. That leopard might have even dragged this carcass here after the lions walked up here. I am now seeing mongoose tracks on top of the drag mark track. Still see the female leopard's tracks here though, everybody. It's incredible how far these leopards can sometimes drag a carcass. Such a powerful cat. Pound for pound, the most powerful cat out here, the leopard. Oh yes. Cello is just pointing out the drag marks moved to the other side of the road here now, everybody. You can see it here. Still dragging the carcass along the road here. Oh, imagine she's put it in a tree somewhere here. Not likely. Most of the time, these leopards just feed on the ground. Maybe, just maybe, because the lions were nearby, she might have put it in a tree, but there are no big trees here. She crossed over here. I can't remember the last time I saw a drag mark on the Rietspruit Game Reserve, everybody. This is very exciting. I don't know exactly how fresh it is, but it would have been sometime between last night and this morning, judging by from what I can see. Still going. Stay with us, everybody. We're going to extend the drive until I find this leopard or until I lose this drag mark. Still see the drag mark. Copy. So bird alarm calling here. Dark cap bulbul. Drag mark does, however, still continue along the road past this bulbul. A couple of big trees up ahead, perfect for her to have hoisted the carcass, if that's what she was going to do today. Turn somewhere there. I'm just going to go back, everybody, and see where she went. I can see the drag mark further up ahead on the road. She obviously went off and then came back to the road. It's amazing how far she's dragged this. We're getting very close to the western fence line now. Surely she didn't drag this carcass through the fence. But a female leopard with cubs might do that. You know, she might take the carcass all the way back to the cubs. They don't do that often. Normally what they'll do is they'll make a kill, stash it somewhere, go and retrieve the cubs and bring the cubs back to the kill. It's safer that way. Safer when there's a lot of other predators around. Because of course, you know, she can lead other predators to her babies if she drags that carcass back to the cubs. Cheers, Betty. Thank you so much for joining us. Sleep well. We'll see you again soon. So many good trees here for her to have hoisted the carcass. But we're about to hit the fence here, everybody. Difficult for us to now see the drag mark because this road never gets driven. It's very overgrown here. Going to try see if I can see where this drag mark comes out, everybody. Surely she didn't take it through the fence here. And there's no holes under the fence at this point. I don't want to walk around too much because if she's close by, I will spook her. Being on foot. Let's just drive along the fence here a little bit, check these trees. I think we should have seen those drag marks again by now if she did come this way. So of course we're now not just looking for a leopard in a tree, everybody, we're looking for a carcass in a tree. If she does hoist it, she'll obviously feed on the carcass when she's up in the tree, or up in the tree rather. But when she rests in between feeds, she'll often go down to the ground and just rest on the ground. So you might not necessarily see a leopard in a tree, but you'll see the carcass and then we know she's close by. No sign of her down here. Let's just go check the other trees quickly past the junction here.
Heading south from the trip up
Tracks of what animal there?
A male lion.
Copy.
They are going south from where, Alex?
From Kurikrip,
Heading towards the area of the Leopard there, and I'm going up.
Guys, that leopard dragged that carcass under the fence right here. That's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So that leopard, everybody, that female leopard, has come into our game reserve, made a kill, dragged that carcass all the way back under the fence here and gone into the Antioch farm, this property next door to us here. Man, that sucks. I don't know which female this is. Perhaps it's that pregnant female, everybody. When we captured her on the camera trap, she was always heading west, away from the Antioch drainage line, that beautiful area I told you about. She was always heading west towards this western fence line, the pregnant female. And so I think that maybe with the constant presence... What was that? Did you see that? Must have been a scrub hare. With the constant presence of lions here on this side, everybody, this leopard has decided to raise her cubs on this property. I think she's taking that carcass straight back to her cubs. We're almost certain that by now she's given birth to the cubs, having seen the footage of her and seeing how heavy set she was. We predicted that it would have been sort of middle of Feb, maybe end of Feb latest, but I reckon more middle of Feb that she would have given birth. And I think she's got these cubs in here on Antioch. No problems with lions on that side. And she's come in last night, made a kill here and dragged that carcass back to her cubs. Man, that sucks for us, everybody. I was convinced we were going to find her this morning. Well, the drag we followed, everybody, we probably followed it for 3/4 of a mile, but they came from the Diepsloot River. That's the direction they were coming from. So she's probably killed this duiker in the river, would be my guess. They often hunt there. So she's dragged it about 1.5 miles to this point. You don't know, of course, how far she's dragged it from here. It's very, very dense bush here, if I look to the west of us here. I just wonder if it wasn't recently. When we first hit the fence line here, I saw this giraffe up ahead here. That giraffe was already staring this direction, and it's been standing there staring this way for a while now. I wonder if she didn't just recently take this carcass through the fence. Man. Exactly, Wendy, it is still very, very exciting. Oh, I love this. I love tracking leopards, trying to figure them out. We'll get her one day. Alright everybody, I'm going to call it quits here. Thanks for joining us, folks. Another beautiful morning, and I've loved sharing it with all of you. Have a lovely day everybody, or a lovely evening, a lovely sleep, wherever you might be in the world. Cello and I are going to head home and get some breakfast and a cup of coffee, and I'm sure we'll be back out with you all again very soon. Thanks for joining us, folks. We'll see you